Hey there, nice to see you back at Garfin's Creation. Today, let's make this whole wheat cherry cake. This is an eggless cake and it's made with whole wheat and jaggery. So there's no sugar or maida used in it. And yet, it's so very delicious and you must try this recipe. So these are all the ingredients used today for this cake recipe. I've mentioned the entire recipe in the description box below in grams and in cups. So let's start with the recipe. Before we could start making the cake batter, you need to prepare the cake tin. This is a 6 inches cake pan. I'll just grease it with some oil and then layer some parchment paper below and at the sides. And at the same time now, you need to preheat your vessel as we'll be baking this over the gas stove. If you're baking it in the oven, you need to preheat your oven at 180 degrees centigrade for at least 10 minutes. I'll be baking this cake in a large vessel. So at the same time now, I've kept it for preheating. So that will be taking at least 10 minutes to get nice and hot. So we need to prepare this cake pan and keep it ready before we go start mixing the cake batter. So in the large bowl, here I have taken room temperature 3/4 cup of Dahi, that is curds. And into it, I've added 3/4 cup of jaggery powder. In place of jaggery, you can also use sugar here. If you do not have jaggery powder, just grate some jaggery and then mix it along with the curds. You have to mix the curds and the jaggery till the jaggery is completely dissolved. Once the jaggery is completely dissolved, I'll be adding 1 teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of baking soda. Mix all these ingredients well and then we need to keep it aside for at least 2 minutes. In the meantime, let's prepare the dry ingredients. In another bowl, here I have taken half a cup of cashew nut powder. Next, I've added 1/4 cup of milk powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'll be taking whole wheat flour here. This is 1 plus 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour. I'll just sieve it so that it becomes a little bit light. Once I've sieved the whole wheat flour, I'll just mix all the dry ingredients well. The cashew nut powder is really going to add nice taste and richness to this cake. Just pulse in some cashew nuts in a mixer grinder and then sieved it. In place of cashew nut powder, you can also use almond powder. Now once these dry ingredients are all mixed in well, I'll be just using a tablespoon of this dry mix and adding it to these cherries. So here I've taken 1/4 cup of chopped glazed cherries. Just mix the flour with the cherries and keep it aside. Now let's continue with the wet ingredients. So here you can see the curds and the jaggery mixture is got a bit frothy. Now into this I've added 1/4 cup of vegetable oil and 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Now mix the oil well in this so that it gets well emulsified into this mixture. There is no need of an electric whisker here. You can use a hand whisker and mix the whole cake batter with it. Now the oil is mixed well into the batter. I'll be adding the dry mix a little at a time. Add in the flour gradually and keep whisking it. This way there will be less lumps into the batter. I have used vanilla essence in this recipe today. However, you can replace the vanilla essence with cardamom powder or cinnamon powder. That will add a lots of warmth to this cake too. As you keep mixing, you will notice the batter gets a bit thicker. So here now lastly, I'll be adding the remaining of the flour and mixing it once again. This cake is going to be a little bit dense, so we need to adjust the consistency with some milk. So here I've taken 65 ml of milk, that is 1/4 cup plus 1 tablespoon of room temperature milk. I'll keep adding the milk and mixing it at the same time. You can definitely add more or less milk depending on the consistency of the batter. The batter will be thick and not too very runny too. Now I've added all the milk and I'll mix it really very well. Also do keep scraping the bowl in between with the help of a spatula. This will get all the ingredients together and mix it well too. If required, you can add 1 or 2 tablespoons more of milk into this batter, as different type of flours absorb different amount of liquid into it. Mix it well till you get a nice dropping type of consistency. So here now I have mixed the batter and I'll show you the consistency, how it looks like. So after mixing it well, here you get a nice, smooth, silky, rich batter. So I'll just mix it once more with a spatula and show you the consistency how the batter needs to be. It should not be too very runny. Now into this I'll be adding the cherries which we had mixed with the little flour. Just fold it in with light hands. Along with the cherries you can also add in some nuts of your choice. Now our batter is ready and all we have to do is pour it into the prepared cake pan. You can also use a cake loaf tin pan for this recipe. Normal 8x3 cake pan too will do for this quantity of batter. After pouring the batter into the pan, just spread it evenly around the pan. And now once this is done, I'll be just putting some cherries on top. This is a little extra cherries that I'll be just putting on top of the cake. This is completely optional. But this does make the cake look more beautiful as well. Along with the cherries, this is a little bit of cashew nuts. I have just cut this cashew nuts in a chopper and just spread it over it. Now you can bake this cake in a preheated oven at 180 degrees centigrade for about 35 to 40 minutes as well. But here today I'll be showing you how to bake it in a vessel. Heated this vessel for the last 10 minutes on medium flame. I place a ring stand inside it and then place the cake tin over it. Cover it well. And now we'll bake this on medium to low flame for about 45 to 50 minutes. After 30 minutes I did check with the screwer, the cake was not done. I closed the lid immediately and continued baking it till it was fully baked. So depending on the vessel and the cake tin you have used, this would take approximate 45 to 50 minutes. But do keep a watch on it after 30 minutes. Once the cake is done, just keep it on the cooling rack to cool down for about at least 10 minutes before we could remove the paper from it. So now I'll just place the cake on a cooling rack and let it be there for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, if I'm able to handle it, I'll just remove the cake from the tin and then place it on the cooling rack to cool out completely. Once this cake is cooled down completely, you can then slice it and enjoy it. This whole wheat jaggery cherry cake is just not only healthy but also very delicious. You can customize the taste and enjoy the rich flavor of the jaggery and the nutty taste of the whole wheat flour. Adding the cashew nut or almond powder makes it also richer. And then adding those cherries and a little bit of nuts really adds a little more beauty to this cake. So you can check out the texture inside of the cake as well. It's so moist and flavorful. So if you do not like maida and sugar, do try this whole wheat jaggery cherry cake. Thanks for watching this recipe. I do have a lot of other cake recipes on my channel too. So I'll put the link for it at the end of the video. Stay tuned and do subscribe to Garfin's Creation. I'll see you in the next video too. Till then, take care and bye-bye.